to the Piney Wood Stitcher. My name is Amanda, and this channel is going to be mostly cross stitch, some about my life in the Piney Woods. I'm a stay-at-home mom to one little girl. We get into all sorts of adventures, but this will be about Flosstube and my cross stitch journey. I've been stitching a little over a year now, and I figured why not show what I'm working on. I don't have a whole lot in my stash. I try to only have a few things, otherwise I get overwhelmed and it just doesn't work out for me. So I think that's what I'm gonna do today. It'll probably be a short video just because I've got 4 whips that I'm working on. One of them is a really big one. It's a full coverage that I got off of Etsy, and I'll go more into that. And then everything else is kind of small. There's not like a whole lot going on, but I'm hoping to get, you know, more whips, more things to do, maybe join some challenges that I've seen. So we'll see about all that. I do other crafts as well. I really like to do pen paling and journaling. I do make junk journals. I got a whole craft room full of stuff that I'll probably never get around to using at all, but it makes me happy, so, you know, why not? I do live in the Piney Woods of East Texas. Not a lot goes on around here. We do have a college here, SFA. They have a pretty good basketball team, or they did. COVID kind of messed that up for us last year, but I'm hoping this year we have a good team. I'm a huge SFA basketball fan. Axum Jacks. So other than that, I mean, I guess let's get right into it and see how this goes. So I'm gonna save my big piece for last. There's not a lot going on it yet. I say that, I've done a lot on it, but it's like my favorite piece, so we're gonna wait. I think first I'm gonna do this sampler. I keep all my projects in these little bags I got off at Amazon. They hold everything I need in them, so like, why not, right? This piece that I'm working on is from it came out of the Gift of Stitching magazine. They had a sale last year. You get like all of their back issues for like $50, or it's like, it might have been cheaper than that, and so I just went ahead and got it. You know, why not? I printed it all out, all the issues out. So I'm doing the Margaret Moffat 1896 sampler. This is what it'll look like when it's done. I thought it was really neat and like a good place to start for a sampler. It's the first one I've done, so I don't know, I thought it looked pretty neat. And I'm stitching this on, I believe, a 20-8 count, but I'm doing, I don't think it's 28 count, it might be, but this, I'm using 3 strands over 2. I tried the 2 over 2 and it just was not as full coverage as I wanted it to be. I could see through a lot of it. So, and then I got this needle minder off of Etsy. If I can find where I got it, 'cause I got this about a year ago, I'll link it in the description, or like the shop in the description. But I got like a sample of like 3 different mystery ones, and this is what came in it, one of them. So this is where I'm at. I'm not too far. I don't work on this one a whole lot lately. So there's that. I want to start getting into more of it, but I've got 2 pieces right now that they're eating up all my time that I have, and this week is kind of a rare week for me. My daughter is in San Antonio with my family, my parents, and so I have a whole week to kind of cross stitch and get things done. I'm also reorganizing some of my guest room, which is taking a lot of time, but I've had a lot more time to stitch this week. So I'm trying to make some progress on my big piece, and all the other ones I'm kind of trying to do like 100 stitches a day. At least that's my goal on these 3, is I want to do 100 stitches a day and see how long it takes me to get done. The next one I'm doing, I bought last Christmas off, I don't know where I got it from, to be honest, but it is a Little House Needleworks. This is what it is. It's a little post office. It's a hometown holiday post office. And I got this because I am really into pen paling, and the one thing that us pen palers know about is the post office, and that's kind of like where all the stuff goes down, you know, where you pick up your mail, especially for us with like a post office box, like a P.O. box. So I thought this would be like super cute to hang in my craft room where I keep all of my letters from all my pen pals. And I'm doing it on the called for fabric, which is, let's see, it's a 30 count portobello linen. This is the first one I've worked linen on, and it's been pretty easy so far. This is as far as I'm at, so not too far, but my eyes aren't that great, and so I had to get one of those magnifying glasses to kind of work on it. And this is I'm doing 2/2 on this. So, but I really like the colors and how it's a little subtle. Since I would say this is obviously like a Christmassy piece, so I'll probably work on this a lot more this month and next month coming up into Christmas, because I'd like to have it done by then, but we'll see. We will see how sucked into these other projects I get. I want to kind of start a couple more projects. I just don't know what I want to do. I am on like a budget, being a stay-at-home mom, so I do have like a bunch of magazines that I printed out, and then I do have the Just Cross Stitch magazine subscription, the digital one, so I can access those copies. I've been kind of looking through them to see what there is, and maybe get some stuff, try to do something from there if there's stuff in my stash that I can do. Like, you know, the floss that I have stashed up. But other than that, I kind of try to stick to the cheaper side. I'm very much a frugal person. I don't want to spend a whole lot of money on things, especially because most of the time I end up spending it on my daughter anyway. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things where I can't sink a whole lot of money into cross stitch, which when I was working I could, and that was nice. That's the only reason why I'm doing my big piece, is because I got it when I was working, and it cost me a lot of money to kit up, and so that's one of the things that I'm like, I gotta finish it, even though it's probably gonna take me about a year. It is full coverage, so we'll see. The second to last one, hold on, let me get the image up. These two, the last two I'm doing on Pattern Keeper, and so I'm going to pull up the image so you can see what they look like. Sorry about that, I figured it out. So this next one is one that I got off of Etsy, and I don't have the shop on me right now, but I will link it in the description. But this is what it's going to look like, and it's obviously a full coverage piece meant to be in a hoop. I'm going to stitch this for my daughter, or put in my daughter's room. She's 2, so she doesn't really care. But I just started this one 3 days ago, so that would be July 10th is when I started this one. So there's not a whole lot done on it, but the shop was having a sale, and it was like $2.50 for the chart, and then I had most of the floss on me, so it didn't cost me a whole lot. And I'm doing this on 16 count Aida, and it is I'm just doing, you know, 2/1 on this, and this is as far as I've gotten. This is in the middle, so this is kind of where the daughter starts, or the mom and the daughter start, and then on this side would be the tree. This is one that I'm stitching in hand. I started it in a hoop when we were driving from San Antonio back here to where I'm at, and I couldn't control the hoop well, so I was like, you know what, I'll just do in hand and see how that goes. And with how stiff this Ada is, it really kind of helps out for the in hand. And then so once I got home, I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna keep it in hand. It's actually going by a lot faster to stitch. I think I whipped out like 200 stitches on this yesterday in about an hour and a half, which for me is fast. I'm not like a super fast stitcher, but it's also big blocks of color. This other piece I'm doing, my big piece, is a lot of confetti work. So it's been nice to try to do a full coverage that is not a whole lot of confetti work. I'm not really doing anything super special with this. I think I'm just gonna put it in a hoop when it's done and call it a day with that one. I want to do at least 200 stitches a day on this one. We'll see how that goes after next week when I'm back to being a full-time stay-at-home mom and I'm not having this break of no children. So we'll see. Now my next one is my big full coverage piece. I am a huge fan of the movie The Labyrinth with David Bowie. It is a Jim Henson movie. I am just a huge nerd when it comes to that movie. I watch it a couple times a year. I have memorabilia. I have tattoos to commemorate it. It's just a movie that stuck with me through my whole childhood, and so why not do a cross stitch piece of it, right? And it's a big one. I'll show you the mock-up. This is what it's gonna This is what it's gonna look like when it's done. David Bowie as Jareth the Goblin King, and this is Jennifer Connelly as Sarah. This is like one of the iconic kind of scenes where they're dancing, and it just spoke to me as soon as I saw it. I got this pattern off at Etsy. The shop's name is Pain Free Crafts. I looked on their Etsy page the other day to see if they had anything else similar, or on their website to see if they had anything else labyrinth related that I would like, and they actually took this pattern off. I don't know if the original artist pulled out, because I know she contracts people to do the art for her and she just charts them. So I don't know, if you wanted that chart, it is no longer available on their Etsy page. And then I did want to just go over some of the numbers on this one because it is big. So it's got 63,525 stitches in this piece, and I've only done 3,180. And I started this September 29th of 2020. I didn't touch it for a while. I just kind of lost my stitchy bug a little bit, and so it just didn't get done. And now I've kind of picked it back up and decided that I'm gonna finish this. I want to finish it in about a year. So I'm hoping by July of 2022 it'll be done. Fingers crossed. We'll see. I don't know that it'll get done. I've stuck with my 200 stitches a day for the last week. I haven't done my 200 stitches today yet because I've been busy doing other things. But without further ado, here it is. And as you can see, I haven't done a whole lot on it. I was doing a diagonal, stitching a diagonal. I didn't like that. So then I'll just do across the page. I didn't like that. And so now I'm kind of just doing like a square at a time, kind of until I'm going to finish this out, and I've kind of started gridding it. I think I'm going to grid as I go, and just, I don't like this, like the parking method. It's just kind of a pain. It's in the way. And so I think I'm going to do a little bit of just stitching the color until it's time to end it, going this way. Probably. I mean, I might go down, just depending on where it is. But so I guess a little bit of cross country, but not, I don't think I'm anywhere near ready for that. There was a couple spots in here where I like miscounted, and so you can't tell, thankfully, but I'm really afraid of these pieces, or like, you know, stitching in the wrong spot, basically. And I really want this to be something that comes out looking really nice. I'm gonna frame it and probably put it in my bedroom. There's nothing in my, like, hanging up on my walls in my bedroom right now, and so I think this would be something cute to put in there. Well, not cute to put in there. And I'm using this Q snaps, and I have like a stand that I use so I can stitch two-handed. It seems to go by faster for me. This is just a needle minder that I got from Hobby Lobby. It doesn't say anything on it, but and then these I got at the Target dollar spot, and I have one on the back as well, so I can, because it didn't fit all the way around, and so I've got like my threader and some needles on here, and you can kind of see my gridding and where I'm like leaving my threads to end them. But once you get through right here, these squares is where Jennifer Connelly starts, or Sarah starts, and then it'll start looking like something. I'm really tired of stitching this black. It's really purple colors, but I'm so tired of stitching the purple. And this is on a I want to say it's a 28 count, and I'm doing 2/1. It is kind of bulky, and I think if I would have done, if I was like starting it today, I probably would have just done, I still would have done a 28 count, but I think I would have done a 1/1. I know some people like to do just like a tent stitch, and I thought about it when I did this because I was like, oh, I'll save money on thread. And then I think I did like 2 squares and I didn't like it, and I think it's because I was doing 1/1 tent stitch, and I should have been doing 2/1 tent stitch probably. I still have the fabric, the two, this is my 3rd time redoing this. I still have the 2 pieces of fabric that I originally did with the stitches still in there, because part of me just doesn't want to get rid of it, because I want to remind myself, like, you messed up, and this is what you did. And then the other part of me is like, you could just rip those stitches out and reuse that fabric. But on one of them, I think I started another project further down and messed up on that, and then just scrapped it, so it really just needs to go. I do have some other projects that I started last Christmas as Christmas gifts for some family members, and I just lost complete interest in them. One of them is like a Hufflepuff one, and I actually, on one whole side, it's like a scarf, and one whole side is off one stitch, and so the whole thing's off, and I'm almost done with it, and I don't want to take all the stitches out, but now the lettering is wonky, because it says proud to be a Hufflepuff. And then another one is like a shark for my brother-in-law, and that's almost done too, but I accidentally deleted the pattern off of my iPad, which is, if it doesn't work on Pattern Keeper, I upload a PDF version of it to GoodNotes, and I use my Apple Pencil to mark it all out, and that kind of works for some of them. And then like on my sampler. I'm just doing it on the paper. I know you're supposed to keep something called like a working copy. I mean, that's from a magazine, and I can just print out another one if I wanted to, so I didn't really care too much about that. So we'll just see what happens. I don't know what my posting schedule will be. I'm hoping maybe once a week. We'll see. I think I haven't really kept track of any of my stitching before, but I think that might help just for my progress. And so I was in my craft room and I found this little journal. It just says notes on it. It's like from the Happy Planner. I got it at Hobby Lobby. That's the only craft store in my town. It's a small town, and so there's no like stitchy stores here. There's only Hobby Lobby, and the next town is about 30 minutes away, and they also only have a Hobby Lobby. And so if I wanted to get somewhere with like a Joann's or a Michael's, it would be about an hour drive to either Tyler or Louisiana, and then Houston is about 3 hours away from here, so there's really not a lot of options, which is really unfortunate when I go to Hobby Lobby and they're out of a floss I need, and Walmart doesn't really carry that much and they don't have it either. I usually have to drive pretty far if I want it that day. So all of that to say, I'm gonna keep my notes in this starting today, which is July 13th. And just keep track of like what I've worked on, my stitches, like how many stitches I've done, which will be easy for my 2 that are on Pattern Keeper. The other 2, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to remember to count them, because it's not gonna keep track on there, obviously, because it's on paper. And then the post office one is on my iPad, and so I'm just gonna have to maybe just highlight which ones I'm gonna do. But so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Let me know if you want to see or not see, but help me pick out a new pattern. I'll just maybe pull up a couple of the I'll tell you what I do. I have created a Instagram, and I'll link it below. It's just piney.wood.stitcher. So at pineywoodstitcher on Instagram, and I will post a picture or a poll of some charts that I'm willing to do, and then y'all can pick, and whichever one wins, that's the one I will pick up and start. I think that would be a good way to kind of mix up what's going on in my stitchy world over here. So thanks for watching. It's gonna take me a little bit to kind of get used to the whole like YouTube thing, so please leave a like, comment down below, you know, things that you'd like to see. Go ahead and give me a subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and you can follow along on my progress on there. And I think that's it for today. Thank you, and bye.